chosen one, a divine work that unlocks millions. God decided this is not an ordinary moment. This is not a routine message. What you are about to hear is not just a motivational reminder. It is a divine revelation assigned to find you right now. You didn't stumble across this video. It's not a coincidence. You are guided here because heaven has spoken a divine work, an assignment, a vision, a gift is about to unlock millions in your life. And it's not maybe it's a decree. God decided it before we go any deeper. Stay with me until the end of this message. Watch every word, because these words are keys, and every sentence carries power. And chosen one to declare your warmest, most heartfelt wishes. In the comments, write them out. Boldly declare what's in your soul. Let your words echo through the universe and seal it with 99, a number of completion alignment and supernatural agreement. Something is about to open in your life because you chose to align your voice with your divine work. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And let's begin. You were born for a specific assignment that holds the key to your wealth. This isn't just any work, it's a divine work. It's something heaven wrote in your spiritual DNA before you ever arrived here. You were never meant to chase money. You were never meant to beg for opportunities. You are the opportunity. You are the vessel. You are the one through whom something grand will be built. Millions are not coming to you because of effort alone. They are coming because of alignment, because you're stepping into what was already predestined. Your divine work was not created to compete with others. It was designed to unlock doors only you can walk through. And the moment you stop trying to fit into everyone else's mold and embrace the assignment heaven whispered into your spirit, you'll see the floodgates of abundance open, not slowly, not in pieces, but in waves. This divine work will look different for each chosen one. For some, it's a vision you've had for years, but buried under fear and doubt. For others, it's a skill you thought was insignificant. Yet when you use it from your soul, it carries a frequency that shifts people for others. Still, it's a bold step. You're about to take a risk that terrifies you, but feels too loud in your spirit to ignore whatever it is. Know this, it will not look ordinary, but it will carry divine weight. That is how you'll know it. The world doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards energy. It rewards alignment. When you operate in your divine work, you vibrate at a frequency that attracts resources, people, opportunities, and yes, millions. Not because you're chasing wealth, but because you're carrying a divine current. The wealth you're waiting for is already stored in the vault of your obedience as you begin to walk in what you were created for. Heaven begins to release what was saved for you. Many people around you may not understand. They may try to minimize your gift. They may try to distract you with noise, comparison, even logic, but this isn't about logic, it's about legacy. Divine work is always misunderstood in its early stages. It's raw, it's unseen, but it's real. And when you stay faithful to it, it begins to move mountains for you. Suddenly, the money you once stressed about chases you. The clients you once prayed for call you. The platform you dreamed of finds you, because you're no longer just working, you're flowing in your divine lane. God decided to unlock the wealth through you. Not just for you. You're not just a recipient, you're a channel. That's why it matters how you show up every day. That's why you had to go through the delays, the dry seasons, the refining process, so you'd be ready to hold what's coming. Many want the millions, but aren't ready to become the version of themselves that can steward that abundance. You chosen one have been prepared in the hidden places, and now the heavens are shifting. Your ideas are not random. That passion in your belly is not a hobby. That obsession with making something great, it's not pride, it's purpose. You've been walking around with divine blueprints in your heart while others saw only dust. But now the season has shifted. Now the time has come, what was hidden will be revealed, and what looked like little will multiply quickly. You are stepping into divine compensation. You are entering the season of results. People won't believe the level of change, but they weren't there for the sacrifices. They didn't see you in the midnight hours when you stayed faithful to the vision, but heaven saw and heaven recorded, and heaven has decided. It's time you'll no longer have to explain what you do. Your fruit will speak. You won't have to chase validation. Your results will answer. And no matter who tries to discredit you, they will not be able to deny the grace that is visibly resting on your life. Why? Because the work is divine, and because it's divine, it will be undeniable. You are not behind. You are not late. The delays were divine. They were preparing the ground. Your foundation is strong because you built it in secret, but the time of being hidden is coming to an end. This divine work is about to expose you to the very people you're meant to impact. And the overflow won't just bless you, it will bless everyone connected to your name. You won't have to manipulate to win. You won't have to conform, just show up. Show up with your full heart. Show up with your gift unapologetically. Show up with the fire God placed in your belly, because that's what opens doors that no man can shut. That's what draws in wealth that can't be measured in numbers alone. That's what causes nations to listen when you speak. Some of you already know the divine work. You've already seen the blueprint in dreams, visions, or signs. Others are about to receive clarity like never before. But either way, know this. Once you accept it, things will move fast, very fast. Resources will align, support will arrive, finances will manifest. Not because you're lucky, but because you're obedient, chosen one. This moment is not about laboring in confusion. This is about leaning into clarity. The divine work does not come with chaos. It comes with conviction. It comes with a rhythm that feels natural to your soul. It comes with divine ease, not because it's easy, but because it's yours. And when you finally say yes to it, the world around you begins to cooperate. There's a reason you felt that deep, knowing that you're meant for more. There's a reason you feel restless doing anything that doesn't align with your soul. That's not rebellion, that's revelation, that's God nudging you toward your divine assignment. And when you accept it, even your challenges become stepping stones. Even your past begins to make sense. Even your weaknesses become tools. This work is your kingdom assignment. It's how heaven pours wealth into the earth, and God chose you for it. Not someone more talented, not someone more popular. You. Because your heart carries something sacred, and God doesn't anoint perfection. He anoints obedience. You've already been approved. You've already been anointed. Now it's time to act. Not with fear, not with hesitation, but with boldness, with fire, with faith, that if God said it, nothing can stop it. You're not hoping for millions, you're unlocking them through your divine obedience. And the most powerful thing about divine work is this. When you do it, others are awakened too. Your movement activates their movement. Your obedience becomes someone else's miracle. You become the signal that it's possible, that yes, God still raises people from humble beginnings into mighty places, and He does it through divine work. Let your story begin here, not with begging, not with fear, but with a decision. What happens when a chosen one steps fully into divine work? Everything begins to move. The heavens, the earth, people, timing systems, everything starts to respond to your vibration. It's as though the universe had been holding its breath, waiting for you to realize that your hands were never empty. They were just reserved for a sacred assignment. And now that you're ready to carry that assignment, the gates that once seemed closed will start to swing open without resistance. Understand this deeply. The divine work is not something outside of you. It's embedded in your soul. It's not something you chase. It's something you unleash. And when it begins to flow out of you, wealth begins to flow into you. Not just material wealth, but the wealth of influence, impact peace and unstoppable favor. You are stepping into the role you were always designed for, one that makes abundance inevitable. But with this work comes a new level of responsibility. You are not just stepping into a new chapter. You are becoming a new version of yourself, a version that cannot afford to play small anymore. There's no room now for self-doubt, hesitation, or overthinking. Divine work thrives in commitment. The minute you waver, you disrupt the current. But when you stay consistent, the current becomes unstoppable. Chosen one, you must now walk with the posture of someone already chosen. Not as someone who needs to be convinced, you must carry yourself with the clarity of someone who knows they are on a divine mission. That certainty alone will scare some people. It will confuse others, but to those who are assigned to your journey, it will be magnetic. Let them misunderstand you. Let them question your timing. Let them whisper about how suddenly you rose. They won't see the battles you fought in silence. They won't understand the pain that shaped your voice, the tears that watered your dreams, or the nights you held your vision while the world slept, but heaven saw and heaven remembered, and heaven has responded. You are now being backed by something far greater than your own strength. There is a divine endorsement on your life. That's why things are going to start moving quickly. That's why doors that were once locked are about to open before you even knock. You're not doing this alone anymore. You're walking with a seal on your soul, a divine stamp that says, "This one was decided, this one is mine." So, what does that mean for your daily life? It means your decisions must now align with your destiny. No more distractions, no more partnerships that drain your energy, no more settling for environments that shrink you. You've got a divine work to do. You don't have time to babysit people's comfort zones while your calling waits. The people assigned to you will rise with you, not pull you backward. It also means your time is sacred. Divine workers must guard their energy every minute you waste. Doubting yourself is a minute you delay someone else's breakthrough every day. You spend doing what no longer resonates. You rob the world of what only you can deliver. That's how serious this is. That's how powerful you are. You've seen glimpses of what you're capable of, but now you're about to experience the fullness of it. The divine work will demand your excellence. It will require your focus. It will stretch you in ways you didn't think you could handle, but it will also reward you with supernatural supply, divine favor and miracles that will make your old life feel like a faded memory. And don't worry if you feel underqualified. That's exactly who God uses. Divine work is not about being the best in the room. It's about being the most aligned in the room. The anointing makes the difference. The fire in your spirit, the purity of your intent, the willingness to obey. Those are your credentials in the spiritual realm, and because of them, you'll prosper where others fail. There will be moments when it feels lonely, when no one claps, when no one understands, when it seems like your seed is going unnoticed. But keep sowing, keep building, keep showing up with excellence even when no one's watching, because this is how divine wealth works. It doesn't show up while you're proving yourself to others. It manifests when you prove yourself to God that unseen obedience is the fertilizer for your harvest. And chosen one, your harvest is overdue. The wealth is already written in your name. The overflow is not a fantasy. It's not a wish. It's a pre-approved inheritance, and the moment you fully embrace the divine work, the key will turn, the vault will open, and you'll realize it was never about chasing success. It was about unlocking what already belonged to you. You are not waiting for the divine work to begin. It has already started. It started the moment you chose to say yes, the moment you said, "I will stop hiding. I will show up. I will serve through my gift, and I will trust that heaven is backing me." That decision triggered a shift. It summoned provision. It activated angels. It woke up favor that had been sleeping in your atmosphere. You're not here to live a life of limitation. You're here to live a life of divine demonstration, a life where your very existence becomes proof that God still moves through people, that God still elevates, that God still honors the obedient. The money that's coming your way is tied to your purpose, and because it's tied to your purpose, it cannot be delayed by man. No system, no person, no enemy can block what God decided would be released through your obedience. You don't have to manipulate the outcome. Just stay aligned, stay consistent, stay plugged into the source, and the divine economy will take care of the rest. There will come a moment very soon when even you will be shocked by how fast things begin to happen. One deal, one message, one divine connection, one decision to go all in and the floodgates will open. That is how divine work works. It multiplies under pressure. It accelerates in silence and it rewards with overflow. You will no longer be identified by struggle. You will no longer be defined by delay. The wilderness season was preparation, not punishment, but now it's time to exit the wilderness and enter the land of divine return. You are not just walking into abundance, you are carrying it wherever you go. Increase will follow wherever you speak. Doors will open wherever you work. Results will multiply because you are not ordinary and your work is not casual. It is sacred. It is decided. This is your time. This is your turning. This is the era where what you carry inside begins to break forth. On the outside, your voice will be heard. Your work will be seen. Your bank account will reflect the power of divine assignment, not because of ego, but because of alignment. Chosen, one, it's time to own what you carry. No more minimizing. No more waiting for perfect timing. Heaven already voted. God already decided. Now all that's left is your move. Chosen one, the work you are stepping into isn't small, and neither is your reward. You've been asking for confirmation, for a sign, for assurance that what you're carrying is real. This is your confirmation. This message is your sign, and the surge you feel inside as you hear these words, it's the Spirit testifying to your soul. You were chosen for a divine work, and that work has been set apart to unlock wealth, legacy, and transformation on a massive scale. What's ahead of you isn't just for survival, it's for significance. The millions that are assigned to your life are not random. They are divine tools to fuel divine impact. Your calling is not just about you, it's about those who are connected to your obedience. Every time you doubt yourself, you're not just hesitating on your dream, you're pausing a miracle meant for someone else. That's how heavy the assignment is. But chosen one, don't let that scare you. Let it ignite you. You were born for this. You've gone through enough fire to know what doesn't belong. You've been through the crushing so you could finally walk with clarity. And now that you've been refined, heaven is handing you the keys to a new realm. One where you no longer shrink. One where you don't apologize for the oil on your life. One where your gift no longer hides behind fear, but stands boldly in power. This new season will not require you to beg for attention. You won't need to shout to be seen. The spotlight will find you, not because you're flashy, but because your presence is loud in the spirit realm. When divine work is activated, it makes noise without noise. Your results will announce you, your excellence will precede you, and your obedience will elevate you. Millions are not coming to you because you forced it. They're coming because you became a portal. You aligned with something heaven crafted and sent it through you to the earth. That's what divine work does. It makes you the answer to prayers people haven't even spoken yet. But with every divine elevation comes a divine separation. Don't be alarmed when certain people drift away. Don't panic when some voices go quiet. The pruning is proof. The thinning is divine. God will remove what's misaligned to protect what He's activating in you. You cannot carry this level of abundance and still entertain environments that mock your calling. You cannot walk in royalty while holding hands with residue from an expired season. Some of the hardest tests in this journey will not be about money effort or planning. They will be about identity. The enemy isn't after your finances. He's after your focus, because if he can distract you, he can delay you. And if he can delay you, he can make you settle for less than what heaven already released under your name. But you're smarter now, sharper, wiser. You've been through too much to doubt what's inside you. You've seen the proof already, the glimpses, the breakthroughs, the times. It almost happened. You've tasted it, you've felt it, and now you're being called to own it fully. No more halfway, no more waiting for permission chosen. Your divine work requires you to shift from working for money to working from purpose. When you do, that money becomes a servant, not a master, and wealth multiplies when it flows through clean intention. That's why God trusts you with it, because He knows you won't worship it. He knows you'll steward it, and He knows you'll multiply it in the spirit and the natural. You're not just called to be wealthy, you're called to be whole. Your abundance won't just be financial, it'll be emotional, mental, spiritual. You'll carry a peace that money can't buy. You'll walk with clarity that silences confusion. You'll enter rooms and bring atmosphere shifts, not because of your title, but because of your anointing. Divine work does not ask for applause. It demands endurance. You'll have to keep going when others quit. You'll have to stay faithful when others fold. But don't be discouraged, because the reward is not in the crowd's approval. It's in heaven's reward. The miracles you're about to experience will make the silence worth it. The elevation you're about to walk into will make the hidden season make sense. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You were being hidden, not buried, and now the revealing has begun. The emergence is near. Your name is being whispered in rooms you've never entered. Your work is being highlighted in realms you can't see, because what's divine cannot be ignored. It draws attention without asking. Your divine work is a spiritual magnet, pulling provision, power, and promotion toward you. So now it's time to go. All in. It's time to let the false layers fall. The you that once played small, who second-guessed their ideas, who lowered their volume to keep others comfortable, that version is gone. You are here now, bold, clear, anointed, prepared. You are no longer in the phase of waiting for miracles. You are the miracle in motion. The millions coming your way are not luck. They are heaven's investment. They are the result of a spiritual transaction. God saw your yes in the dark, and now He's releasing provision in the light. This wealth is not just to pay bills, it's to fund empires, it's to establish vision, it's to shift generations. And God decided that you would carry that mantle. Chosen one, the divine work in you, is dangerous to the enemy. That's why you've been attacked. That's why the delay was intense. That's why you felt stretched to your limit. But what the enemy used to try to break you, God used to build you. You are stronger than you know. And now that you're stepping into the assignment, you'll realize nothing was wasted. Every lesson has become fuel. Every delay has become direction. And every tear has become testimony. Now, watch what happens next. Watch what flows when you no longer chase but channel. Watch what multiplies when you stop striving and start surrendering. Watch what emerges when you say, I don't just want to be blessed, I want to be used. You are walking in wealth because you're walking in purpose. You are unlocking millions because you're unlocking your mission, and you are becoming the vessel through which divine power pours. Chosen one, you're not just touching wealth, you're transforming it. You're not just finding success, you're fulfilling destiny, and you're not waiting on the shift anymore. You are the shift, chosen one. Let this settle deep in your spirit. You are not here to repeat cycles. You are here to break them. And the divine work assigned to you isn't just about money. It's about movement. A movement that shifts atmospheres. A movement that redeefs what wealth looks like. A movement that puts heaven's agenda back in motion through the hands of the willing. You were never meant to labor in vain. You were never designed to be just another person in the crowd trying to figure things out. By trial and error, you were encoded with vision the moment God breathed life into you. A blueprint was tucked into your being. And that blueprint, your divine work, is the key to not just your breakthrough, but the release of a financial, spiritual, and generational shift through you. Every divine worker becomes a divine architect. You're not just building a brand, a business, or a platform. You're building a system that allows heaven to operate through you. Every product, every word, every post, every idea, when aligned with divine purpose, becomes a vessel, and vessels carry oil, and oil attracts provision. That's why some things didn't work before. That's why you were blocked from certain opportunities. Not because you weren't good enough, but because they weren't pure enough to hold what you carry. Divine work cannot operate in systems built by fear or greed. It requires environments that can support your anointing. That's why God delayed certain deals. That's why the collaboration you wanted fell through. It was a divine redirection. What's coming now is different. This is not the season of trying to convince the world of your value. This is the season where the world sees your value because of the results of your divine obedience. You will no longer have to prove anything. The fruit will speak. And when the fruit starts growing, the harvesters come running. Wealth is not earned through exhaustion. It is unlocked through revelation. Divine work brings revelation. It brings divine downloads, strategies, and moments of supernatural insight that change everything you could spend years trying to figure it out on your own. Or you could receive one divine instruction and experience results in days that others never touch in decades. But to operate at that level, you must trust your instruction more than your logic. You must learn to recognize the voice of your divine assignment over the noise of the world, because the truth is not every good idea is a God idea. Not every opportunity is yours to carry. Not every door is divine. And in this season, discernment will be your greatest currency when divine wealth starts. Flowing distractions start knocking. Counterfeit versions of your dream will show up. Offers that look good but come with spiritual strings. Attached people who celebrate your elevation but quietly resent your authority. This is why you must stay grounded, not in fear, but in fierce clarity. Chosen one, the higher you rise, the quieter your movements must become. Not in silence, but in spiritual discipline, you'll no longer announce every idea. You'll no longer seek validation before acting. You'll move like royalty, measured, intentional, secure. Because royalty doesn't rush. Divine work doesn't beg, it builds, and building takes faith that says, even if I don't see it yet, I know it's working. Faith that says, even if no one claps, I'll keep creating. Faith that says, even if they leave, I'll keep leading. Because you know this is bigger than ego. This is a divine assignment. And once you've accepted it, nothing can stop what was set in motion by God's decision. Your job is not to chase. Your job is to create from that space inside you where heaven speaks, to build from that frequency that only divine workers know, where you feel the anointing press into your bones, where your heart pounds and your soul whispers, this is it. That's the place your millions are hiding in. They're not in the hustle, they're in the holy, they're in the sacred space where heaven downloads strategy and you act on it without hesitation. Chosen one, listen. You're about to create something that shifts culture, that turns heads, that attracts attention, not because it's trendy, but because it's timeless. What you're birthing isn't just valuable, It's spiritually coded. People won't even know why they're drawn to it, but they'll feel the pull, because when divine work is activated, it carries presence. That presence will open doors, that no degree can that presence will command respect where you were once ignored. That presence will magnetize wealth to your name because God decided your name is safe. With overflow, you are about to experience supernatural credibility, not because of credentials, but because of consistency, not because of applause, but because of alignment. You didn't need to go viral to be validated. You needed to go vertical up into your divine assignment so that heaven could pour down what it's been holding for you. The divine work you've been entrusted with is not ordinary. That's why ordinary habits won't sustain it. You need spiritual rhythm. You need space for stillness. You need to keep the altar of your spirit clean, because divine work is sensitive. It will not flow through chaos. It will not thrive in confusion. It demands clarity, simplicity, power. Your prayer life must increase your focus, must sharpen your vision, must become sacred again, not something you talk about casually, but something you protect, like a treasure chest, because that vision is connected to miracles. That vision holds the wealth you've been praying for. That vision is not optional. It's assigned and you chosen. One are heaven's answer to someone's drought. You are someone's answered prayer. You are the miracle carrier. The wealth you're stepping into is not just for luxury. It's for legacy. It's to change your last name story. It's to shift what your children will inherit. Not just in money, but in mindset, in courage, in spiritual authority. They will not grow up watching you break under pressure. They'll grow up watching you rise in power. They will not inherit trauma. They will inherit tools. They will not repeat patterns. They will walk in promise because you decided to activate your divine work, because you said yes, because you refuse to settle for mediocrity in a world that constantly offers it, because you stopped waiting for someone to give you a stage and built an altar. Instead, chosen one, you are rising, and this rise cannot be stopped. You are in the season where wealth meets purpose, where alignment meets acceleration, where the work you once doubted is now about to deliver on a level no one imagined. But God always intended. God didn't just choose you, God prepared you. And because of that preparation, you're about to unlock not just a check, but change, not just a payment, but power, not just income, but influence, and not just growth, but glory. You are heaven's builder in this hour. The assignment is on you. The grace is on you. The overflow is chasing you. Because you finally stopped running, because now you're ready, chosen one. If only you could see what heaven sees right now. There is a light on you. There is a glow on your life that cannot be explained by your past, your resume, or your background.